Hi everyone, today I'm here to talk to you about why housing should be a human right and why no more childhood should go to waste in emergency accommodation. I was homeless twice and I've lived in 9 different places. My journey started when I was 4. We had just moved into a small 1-bedroom flat in Mountjoy Street. I'll never forget the smell of damp, how dark it was and how filthy the mattresses were. We also had some strange rules, like the children couldn't play together, we couldn't go into each other's flats and we couldn't invite anybody over. We also had room inspections without any warning, and I used to be terrified if I broke anything because I'd get into serious trouble. But one of the strangest rules was that we had to ask for permission for the doors to be open before 7 AM so my mum could go to work and I'd get the 2 buses I needed to go to school. I remember being very stressed even at the age of 4. I started taking small seizures and one night my mum had to bring me to Temple Street. I remember she was so angry at the staff because they said she needed to be back before midnight or the doors would be locked. My mum used to say we were just like Cinderella because we had a curfew. At this point I didn't know I was living in emergency accommodation. I just thought the staff were caretakers, but one evening everything changed. I was in my grandparents' house and my nana was showing the 6 o'clock news, and to my surprise I seen pictures of Mountjoy Street all over the TV. I was like, Nana, look, that's my home, that's where I live. But then all of a sudden I see my mum and another mum from the building hanging out a window shouting homes for people, not for profit. I was like, wow, my mum's famous, she's on RTE. Afterwards, when she came to collect me, I was so excited to tell her she was famous, but she looked sad. She had to explain to me that I was homeless. I was shocked and confused. I knew what the word meant, but I associated it with being poor and living on the streets. So I was like, no, ma'am, you work. We have a flat, we can't be homeless. She explained to me about the flat being emergency accommodation and even worse, we were being evicted. I always remember people telling my mum about these local TDs. These people will help. At this time, news had spread about the residents of Mountjoy Street being evicted. Large crowds gathered outside Mountjoy Street to support us. I thought to myself, these must be the TDs everyone told my mum about. These people will help. So I decided there and then I wanted to become a TD and help others. But how stupid I feel now. These weren't TDs, these were the amazing activists from North Dublin Bay and Dublin Central Housing Action who volunteered their own time to help us. One thing the activists taught me was to use my voice, and I no longer want to be a TD anymore. I want to be a paramedic because at least they actually help others. So after we got evicted from Mountjoy Street, so my second time round homeless, we moved into a hub. It was a lot cleaner, the staff were much nicer, and we could invite people over, but we couldn't bring them to our room. But I never invited anybody over because I was too ashamed. The only time I didn't feel ashamed leaving the hub was at Halloween because I had a mask on. At this time, my epilepsy got a lot worse, and my doctor said my stress and my living conditions played a big role in my development of epilepsy. Sometimes the noise in the hub got too much. I used to sleep with my hands over my ears, and I used to be so tired I used to fall asleep in class. Even though life was hard, I knew there was people worse off. So I volunteered at a soup run outside the Central Bank, Friends Helping Friends. And I always remember there was this one boy who used to queue up for food and eat his dinner on a piece of cardboard. It was so sad to see children and elderly people queue up for food. After the hub, we moved into a small bungalow in Clester. It was nice. The only thing I think was wrong with it is I think it was haunted. But it still didn't feel like home. I was still in the routine of living in emergency accommodation. But I'll never forget the day I found I got my forever home. My mum didn't tell me she had the keys in her hand. Walking in, holding my nana's hand, and seeing banners and balloons everywhere saying, welcome home, this made the tears fall from my eyes. I can't describe how my life has changed since. I've been able to commit myself to Trinity Gales, my GA team, and even join St. John's Ambulance. My schoolwork has improved so much. I'm not falling asleep in class anymore. I don't have the same stress anymore, but I must say my school Our Lady of Consolation gave me so much support and they understood my situation. But is my homeless journey over? Who knows? When you see students sleeping in cars or sharing beds just to attend university. I hope my parents still have my communion money left over so I can keep it off can I put it off a mortgage when I'm older? Ireland is the 3rd richest country and we still need soup runs like Friends Helping Friends and a lend in hand just to help our homeless. Why are the council selling off public land when they could be building social and affordable housing for all? Kids are being cramped into hubs, hotels and even overcrowding their grandparents' homes. To the 3,028 children in emergency accommodation now, this is not your fault, this is not your parents' fault, this is the government's fault. If I was Taoiseach for a day, I'd have housing for all.